Hello everybody, Ange here, and welcome back to Princess Principal. Oh man, I still have the previous episode in my mind. It was way too heavy for the kind of show it is. Mm, Shouldn't be drinking this. I should be drinking my tea. There we go. Aronia, sour cherry, plum, blackberry, and hibiscus. It's hard to distinguish all those flavors, but overall it tastes good. Okay, I'm not here to talk about the tea, although I will need to look up the teas mentioned in the previous episode, or was it the episode before, and I'll have to look them up online. I always forget, but I'll have to do it eventually. Right, Princess Principal. I admit, I'm a little bit scared to get into this episode because I don't know if it's gonna be something like episode 7, or are we gonna see some more light, maybe not quite light-hearted, but light things. I hope we will. I hope that this episode will be some cute girls doing cute things. Maybe some action, maybe some heartwarming Yuri moments, something like that. Please don't let it be another story of parental abuse. Please, we had way too many of them so far. We had like 2 episodes that were about parental abuse. I don't want a third episode on that topic. I really don't. I'd be watching some drama if I wanted those topics. And that's some telemarketer calling. Okay, my mic doesn't pick it up, so that's good. Right, last episode. What happened in last episode? Parental abuse happened. We learned the original name of what's her name? Not Diana. Why am I forgetting her name? I'm always forgetting her name. Princess Principal Mal. Please, what is her name? Dorothy. That's right, Dorothy. We learned that her original name is Daisy, and Dorothy is really her mother's name. We know that she was being abused by her father and she ran away from home. That's how she became the spy. And yeah, it was basically just a Dorothy centered story with a little bit of Bethany. Is that her name? Did I remember it correctly? Beatrice. I did not remember it correctly. Her name isn't Bethany, it's Beatrice. Yeah, we got some nice Dorothy and Beatrice bonding. They were both victims of parental abuse, so a little bit of an odd thing to bond over. Although I guess perhaps not. Perhaps not. People do get bonded over their past traumas. Yeah, not much more than that really happened. We retrieved some code, but retrieving that code was pretty much just a pretext. Just something to show, hey, we're still doing the spy thing. The main story was parental abuse. I can't really put it any other way. And I guess we did see Dorothy fighting, and the blonde dude with weird voice acting was back, and it does seem like he would be a recurring character here. Also, the Earl of something or other reappeared again, another recurring villain, as it would seem. Perhaps the main villain of the series. If this series does have a main villain, it would be him. Anything else that's worth of mention? No, no, I don't think it is. No, I don't think there is. I should not be prolonging it any further. I'm afraid of what's gonna happen in episode 8, but hopefully it won't be a repeat of episode 7. I can only hope. Okay, let's give you some subs. It is yet again version by, of course, it doesn't say here, but it will say here. Akihito Subs. That's right. It is it again. Version by Akihito Subs. Episode 8. And it's gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, creepy bells. Ah, no. It's Chise writing a letter. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting a day from the life of Chise. Ink? Natto? Natto, of course. Beans. Fermented foods are good. What are you on, Beatrice? Fermented beetroot. The best borscht is made of fermented beetroot. Fermented cabbage, sauerkraut. It's great as a side dish, just alone without any additions. It's great fried with some bacon. That's an amazing way to eat sauerkraut. Fermented cucumbers, my personal favorite. Soup made of fermented cucumbers is great. I would get along well with Japanese people. Kombucha, another kind of fermented food. I will never be deceived. I'm a girl that sees through lies. 'Cause I know it all. Gonna fly so high. Get across the world awaits and walks and show me now. Smack it down, get across the world. Break away. I love this OP. Blast it off right. Okay. Pell-mell duel. Toasted bread with Marmite. It's British. The audacity of the British people invading all those countries for spices and then not using any. Stone tablet or some? Oh no, grinding her own ink. And writing with a brush. EE. Okay. She just busts out kendo gear. Or not. Ooh, that's nice. I think it's just a cricket baseball. Baseball doesn't use a flat bat. But it's not kendo gear either. I was mistaken. Some Japanese instrument. Oh, Chise. Japanese style art, I'm assuming. Yes, very much so. Yeah, at least get the hair color right. Art style is fine, but at least get your colors correctly. Ooh. Fencing, always wanted to learn it. I think there is a fencing club nearby. But no clue if they're recruiting during the pandemic. Hmm. Throwing a glove? No, it's the icon. No, you throw a glove. Yeah. You're gonna get a glove thrown at you. Apparently. Kendo versus fencing. Just a little bit of roughhousing. Gonna hit the instructor? Gonna hit the instructor, of course. It very much is. The oldest here. Yeah, she's not. Timid Ange? Yeah, exactly. Fish out of water. Very much so. She has her reasons. And that's a very good thing for a spy. Hmm. So we can talk about those things only during club time, or is it... Okay, the lavatory. I knew that this has to be why girls always go to the toilet together, to plot against the nation. And eat, for some reason. Girls in my schools always went to the toilet together to eat during lunchtime. Ooh, what a sick burn. That was better. Ooh, that was a good retort. And we're going spying. Yeah, but you probably don't have smog in Japan. We still don't quite know how it works, but hey, it does. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, there are people who are into that as well. You're the fighter of the group. No mention of how Ange can fly? You're the fighter of the group, everybody has a role. Your role is a melee fighter. Hmm. Everybody tries to evaluate the princess, eh? Yeah. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks. I mean, ultimately, both will end as a singular country, one way or another. Hopefully. Butterfly fresh out of the chrysalis? That's gonna be the titular duel, isn't it? Of course. Do you have a glove, though? Do you have a... Yes, she has a glove! Hell yeah! Let's go! Don't stand out. You'd be the one embarrassed, though. Okay. Yeah, but what's gonna come out of it? There's a duel in the title. We still have a few minutes. No. Okay, so she's down. Yep. Yep. She understands it better than anybody. She fights for her country in its own twisted way, but she does. Ooh, a gun duel. I was expecting fencing or sword fight, not flintlocks. One of them has been tampered with, hasn't it? Princess has had her reason. Ooh, hoo, hoo, what a burn. Yeah, it will not fire. It did fire, but it was probably a blank. Wasn't it? Hmm. Time for Beatrice to step in? Swap guns? Slingshot. She's gonna make a slingshot out of her ribbon. Yeah. There we go. First to be injured. Is definitely injured. The fuck kind of magic trick you talking about? There we go. That's not all. That's not everything. The butterfly. Too bad there's no cameras yet. No phones. Should have been filmed and uploaded to YouTube. Yeah. With Princess as the lead, it's sure to succeed. Do you believe in them or do you not? That is essentially the question. Is she gonna stumble upon them and hear what they're saying? Or what's going on? Okay. Oh, it's a party. Okay. Okay. Sumo. With a sumo duel. Yes, very much so. It still is, even to this day, to be perfectly honest. Is it? They were listening in? Oh. Oh. True. That it will succeed. Okay. Okay. And there we go. That was a very nice episode. That was genuinely a great episode. That's what I wanted. Exactly 100% what I wanted from this episode. Yep, it was everything I wanted. Honestly. Especially after episode 7. An episode like this was very much needed, and I want more episodes like this. I want more episodes that are focused on those characters, on their shenanigans at school, a little bit of spying, a little bit of uh, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of fun, a little bit of uh, slice of life, right? I want more of that. In my story, sweet and bright. Yep, exactly what I wanted. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, let's roll. Let's go through this episode. Uh, I don't think there's much to be, talked about. Not much has happened when it comes to like the overarching plot of this series, but it's still gonna be worth going through it and just recapping what happened. I like that we're telling the story of this episode through the perspective of Chise. She's the newest member of our cast, and she's the most of an outsider here, right? She arrived here after all the plans were already set in motion, after everybody already bonded. So seeing everything from her perspective is very much appreciated, right? It would be weird seeing all those things from Beatrice's perspective, or Ange's perspective, right? Chise is the perfect medium to tell us this story. Not only that, she's a foreigner. She comes from Japan, so her outlook, her perspective on the things that are being talked about in this episode is all the more of an outsider, right? Because she's an outsider not only to that group, but also to that country, to that region of the world, even to the West, to the generically defined West. And yeah, I like that. It's everything here is told from her perspective. Of course, we do have right. There was some mention of they don't take off their shoes inside. Perhaps it was a thing back then, but I think people generally take off their shoes when they're coming inside. Like, I know that I don't know anybody who would walk around their home with shoes on. Everybody has slippers. Every member of the family has their own pair of slippers, and there are always some guest slippers, so you walk with them around the house. I don't know if it was uh, if it's like an English thing, or is it a Victorian English thing, Victorian era. I think it might be more of a Victorian thing. There's no great heating, right? So it would check out. Or is it just a what do you call it? Something that Japanese people believe Western people do. I don't know, but it was a detail that kind of got my attention a little bit. Of course, we have the natto joke. That natto stinks. And no, it's not natto, it's nukazuke. Vegetables pickled in rice bran. Okay. No joke, I would like to taste natto one day. There is an oriental store nearby, like right across the street. I don't think they have natto. They do have kimchi though, and they have great kimchi, but I haven't seen natto. I'll have to ask, because I'm very much curious. I've seen natto appear so many times in anime, always as some kind of butt of the joke that, oh no, it stinks, it's so sticky, yucky, that I genuinely want to try it. Of course, we're getting the OP, it's amazing as always. And what is she eating? It's like sunny side up egg, black pudding, toast. Yeah, it's toast with Marmite. Yeah, it is Marmite. You can see it on the jar. Sunny side up egg. A little bit over fried, it would seem, because it's charred at the edges. And black pudding. I think it's black pudding. So, black pudding is great, but not for breakfast. It's amazing grilled. You throw some black pudding on a grill, you spread some mustard on it, and that's perfect. But yeah, it's not an appetizing breakfast. It doesn't look all that great. There's no vegetables. Yeah, and no color. What can I say? A classic British breakfast. British. Classic British breakfast. Classic British food. All that's needed is some weird yellowish grey pudding, and that would be, complete British breakfast. Of course, she grinds her own ink with an inkstone. She writes with a brush. which is, I mean, commendable. I certainly do not have this kind of control over a brush. I remember having a little bit of, well, maybe not issues, but I remember dropping, like stopping using, what's it called? Pen, like an ink pen, very quickly. And as soon as I was allowed in school to use a pen, wait, what's the translation? Because I forgot the English word for it. Pen. Okay, so it's just pen and okay. Cool. Great job, English language. You have the exact same word that it describes two very distinct things. There's the pen that uses ink, like ink cartridges, and has that flat kind of split thing you write with, and there is a pen. It's like, regular ballpoint pen. I guess pen and ballpoint pen are two distinct words for it. In Polish, it's długopis and pióro. Feather would be translated literally, and I can't get it back into this thing. Okay. I don't know, ballpoints are just easier. But sometimes I would like to actually learn to write proper cursive with a proper ink pen. There's something fancy about it. Uh, Here, focus. That's that looks kind of like baseball, like a miniaturized baseball. There's no bases. There's just a flat bat. I initially thought it's kendo gear, those shin guards, but I think it's just part of the sport. Is it cricket? Cricket. I think it might be cricket. Yes, there's the flat bat, there's the three-pronged thingamajig. It is cricket. Of course, they're British, they're playing cricket. Duh. They're not playing like horse polo, they're playing cricket. And of course, that's her strongest suit. Here she plays on a conch, however you pronounce it, a big shell. And art, of course, her art is very Japanese, as we soon learn. Yep. Like, art style notwithstanding. Did I use that word correctly? I think I might have. Art style notwithstanding, the colors. If the colors were correct, the whole piece would be much better. Right? Actually use white and black for her dress. Actually use black for her ribbon. The color is a little bit different, but that doesn't matter. There's this, she has like a blazer on top, some kind, and there's none on Chise's art piece. The hair color is of course different as well. Yeah, if only she picked the colors correctly, it would be already better. She's right that it's nothing like her, but I don't think the butt of the joke here is the art style itself, as much as perhaps this scene wants us to believe. I think the intention was that the art style itself is the joke here, but I think the choice of colors is more of a joke, but at the same time it's a little bit harder to understand, because why would she pick incorrect colors, right? It doesn't really make sense in world. But okay, I'm not gonna overanalyze it. And the sculptures in the back, I think it's like an actual photo that has been just composed in. Yeah, I think it's like an actual photo with some filters on it. Fencing. Girl, she throws. She throws what was it? A turnip? A radish? It looks like daikon. What was it? Two different fighting styles. Yeah. No, should be a little bit before. Is that so? Turnip. I should throw a turnip. I would have expected daikon, not a turnip. Whatever. I'm not gonna focus on that too much. It's not an episode that you should pay much focus to. Yeah, the teacher got hit. And we get a Chise's opinion of everybody here. And yeah, they are right. The princess is very much right. If Chise didn't stand out, she would attract much more attention because it's weird that a Japanese girl who just transferred here blends in perfectly with other people. If anything, that would be weirder. Yeah, that's what makes Princess a great spy. People can't figure out what she's thinking because she's always smiling, she's always happy, she always puts on a facade. And so does Ange. And nobody knows that Ange and Princess share a common goal. And those are probably the two best people to hold a secret, honestly. Of course, they go to the toilet to discuss their secret things. We have a. Why did Chise mention. Okay, can you scroll a little bit faster? Okay, maybe let's do it manually. Lily Gaveston, daughter of the kingdom's chief justice. Okay, so she's. Oh, I didn't know that she's one of the collaborators. I missed that line. That's important. That's good. That's why I always go through the episode at the end, because there are things that I missed. She's not been trained as a spy, but she's the same sex as Princess and is the same and in the same class. This actually makes her the bigger nuisance. Oh. Interesting. And of course, Princess with a sick burn. You're telling me that I should reevaluate my friends, but you're my friend. Should I reevaluate our friendship? Are you saying I should reconsider? And they're in their full spy gear. They really stand out for spies. You'd think that as spies they'd use something more inconspicuous, but no. It's just bare legs and a big hat, a dress, a dress skirt thing, and even bigger hat. At least Beatrice masks her buns, so hey. Maybe they're rockets like the Akari's buns. And yeah, Beatrice is good with machines. Rain. I can use it to my advantage. Yes, oh no, it's raining. Could you give me shelter, please? Boing. And Ange goes from the roof because she can fly. I find it kind of weird that she said didn't mention Ange flying. Although, she's writing a letter to her sister, so maybe she wants to keep it a secret. Or maybe it has to be kept a secret that Ange has a G-ball. I don't know. Yeah, she goes through the roof. They have this wiretapping machine. Okay, give us your opinion. Will the operation succeed? We know that it's been 4 weeks. For 2 weeks. Fortnite is 2 weeks since Chise's been here. And yeah, Japan just wants to know on which nation to bet. Will the Commonwealth win or will the kingdom win? Who should they side with? And there's this scene. Of course, they could go around, but they won't because they're little bitches. And Chise this time came equipped with a glove. She wants to duel. The princess isn't against it. No. She came here to teach Chise about the rules for dueling. No, she's not. There are times when a person has to fight. If you're going to do it, you absolutely must win. The princess knows it very well. She herself fights for a thing that she believes is worth fighting for. She fights not only for her country to be reunited, she also fights for her love, right? Her goal in reuniting the country, after all, is so that she can be with Ange without anything being in their way, without any borders, without having to run, without having to hide. That's her goal. She wants to reunite the country so the war can end and they can finally be together. And she must win. She knows she must win, and she's prepared to, well, let's be honest here, betray her own country to do that. Yeah, she's prepared to make it so that her country fails, loses the war, as long as it ensures that both halves of the country are reunited. Duel. Fairness is valued above all, but we knew from the smirk that Chise's gun has been tampered with. And yeah, a slingshot. Yep. A bullet from a slingshot like that wouldn't surprise me if it was actually like more deadly than if she actually successfully shot. You can really get a lot of speed out of the bullet when you use a slingshot like that. I made slingshots like that as a kid, and they go through like a thin layer of not even like a super thin, but like a centimeter thick layer of particle board, or mm, even like plywood, very easily. Very easily. You take a ball out of a ball bearing, you put it in a slingshot like that, you spin it around, you chuck it, and it's deadly. It's one of the like deadlier ranged weapons, and I made crossbows. But the slingshot was probably the most deadly. On my next turn, I will aim between the eyebrows. In my opinion, you should have done that from the get-go. And of course, he decides that it's not worth it, and runs away with a tail between his legs. She's a 1. But there was something she said here that I missed, I believe. Well done, Miss Chise. They didn't. Oh, that Ange. I get it. I get it. She wanted Ange and Beatrice and Dorothy to come and witness her duel. And a welcoming party uh with drums and sumo and this paddle thing. Japan is still an unknown nation, very much so, and it hasn't changed. Honestly, it hasn't changed. If you look at what opinion of Japan some people hold, and not even like people who are completely uninterested in Japan, but like weebs. Like if you get some opinions of Japan from some hardcore weebs and compare it to how it really is in Japan, it's nothing alike. There aren't cat girls on every corner, and there is no program of state issued waifus. Believe me, if there was, I'd already be in Japan, but I'm not. And yeah, it's thanks to you that our mission went so smoothly. Wiretapped. Wiretapped Lily. And she lied as naturally as she breathed by saying she's normal. Uh, what's going on? I do not know if Operation Changeling is possible. I want them to be victorious. That's what matters. That's what matters. I'm confused about one little thing. Uh, we know that Lily is a collaborator with, or is she a collaborator with the nation they're currently spying on? Maybe? Because why would they wiretap her communications, right? I don't know. When it becomes relevant to the plot, I'm sure that I will figure it out. There we go. That's the episode. That's the episode. And more episodes like this, please. More episodes like this. This is what I wanted from this show right from the get go. This is what I was hoping this show to be. Less drama, more spying, more fun, more slice of life things, right? Now, some drama is, of course, needed, but I'd rather not have entire episodes focused on drama, like episode 7. I might be getting a little bit hung up on episode 7, but all the other episodes that had some drama, like the episode where Chise had to fight her father, there was a lot of action there to offset that drama. The very first episode that we've seen, there was a lot of drama, but again, there was also some action to offset it. Episode 7 was purely drama, essentially. It was purely and solely about parental abuse. Less of that, more of this, please. It was just a nice episode, honestly. I really genuinely had fun watching it, and I really like what they did here. Especially, I'm repeating myself, but especially with Chise as the narrator of this episode. It really worked so well to tell a story from her perspective. It would also be nice to see an episode from perspective of Beatrice, since she's the most normal girl in our bunch, right? Princess is a little bit two-faced in that she wants to go against her country, and even Beatrice was shocked about that. Ange is a mystery to everybody but the princess. Dorothy is Dorothy. Chise is also a little bit of a, well, maybe not a mystery, but she's different. She's the odd one. It would be nice to hear what Beatrice thinks about the whole spying shenanigans, because she's the least spy of them all. Right? She has her voice changer, but she doesn't know combat very well. She's not great at lockpicking, as we've already seen, right? She's not great at those things. She's the least the least spy of them all. That's like the best term I can use here. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that needs mention. Maybe that Lily will eventually reappear, but I'm not entirely sure about it, truth be told. It's already episode 8. So, yeah. I'm only left wondering how are we gonna end this season. I know there are movies, but I hope this season will not end with a cliffhanger. I hope that we're actually gonna, you know, get somewhere, and that and that this season, this series is not just gonna be a mishmash of various loosely packed episodes where each episode is a self-contained story, right? I would like to see some more overarching plot. Perhaps the Earl of something or other is gonna die by the end of the series. I guess that would be a good end point to the season. And from there we get into the movies, and during the course of the movies, they're trying to put the princess on the throne. I think that might be something they're aiming for here, but I'm not entirely sure. Tell me what you think of it down in the comments. Just don't spoil me, please. I want to witness the whole story myself. And I'm watching one episode a day, one episode a month. Fuck, one episode a week. Why was it so hard? I'm watching one episode a week, so it's not like I binged them all and I'm just only releasing them. So please don't spoil me things. Please, please, please. But do tell me what you think. If you, like myself, never seen Princess Principal, do tell me what you think about how it's gonna go, how the season is gonna end, what are they gonna do. And like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and if you still can, whether you can dislike it or not, leave me a comment down below what I did wrong. What did I do wrong for you to dislike it, so I can, be better, so I can fix those issues. And leave me a comment about anything you want, what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my reaction, what you thought is gonna happen next. I'm curious. I always read all the comments I get. I don't get many of them, so it's not like it's a hard job, but I still do make the minimum effort to read them all. Subscribe if you want to be notified of future releases. I'm not only watching Princess Principal, but also Tact of Destiny, Saihat no Paladin, and Tsukito Lakato no Sferatu. Those three. If you want to watch Princess Principal up to a week early, you can head over to my Patreon. Link is down in the description. And for $10 a month, you get early access to Princess Principal and any other non-seasonal show that I will be watching in the future. Seasonals are coming out mostly as they're being released, or maybe a day after. Non-seasonals are always 1 week in advance on my Patreon. So if you like that, you can check it out. And there are also cheaper tiers, like for $1 you get access to my Discord server. So if that's something you're into, there's also that. And yeah, that's it. I think that's all. That's my spiel for this week of Princess Principal. So as always, do all the good stuff, guys, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's one of my Patreons. You can join them. They're lonely on this list,